throws me off every time. I'm still not used to it. Uh, so everybody welcome. For those of you who do not know Miss Mauria Dillard, I don't know how, because she's like way up there. She's spoken at like the last 2 Paloozas that I've been at. I would imagine she's probably spoken at every single one of them. She is truly inspirational. I don't know if you guys are following her on Facebook or if you've caught any of her lives or anything like that. I just love listening to her speak. And I've learned so much from her. So I obviously had to invite her to our Tips from the Top Zoom tonight. Basically the way that we do these, Mauria, is that I more or less just kind of give the floor to my guest and just let you guys share your story, any tips, tricks, advice, anything that you'd like to give, anything that you feel on your heart. And then I just let people ask questions in the chat, and then I'll go through and see if there's any questions when we go to close. Oh, you're muted. Hang on.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, thanks for having me. So this is kind of perfect. I think I want to go with my post that I made today on Facebook because it was kind of fun. So someone had actually asked in our 200K group page, did anybody or how many of you in here joined or started Thriving because you received a message from someone asking you about it, like a direct reach out about Thrive? And basically like all of us raised our hands, and so I started scrolling back in my messenger to my initial conversations with Tony Strackman. So a little bit of background: I joined this company in October 2013. Tony first reached out to me back in 2012. It took me about 18 months to even order with her. And I don't think I had a free account. Like, I don't think that was a big deal. I don't think I had an account until I actually, until I ordered. So anyway, Tony and I are connected through the home health world. She's a nurse. I'm a former speech pathologist. I guess I'll always be a speech pathologist. I just don't practice that anymore. And we worked for the same home health agency. So she's in a different season of life than me. She was already a grandmother by the time I started. I had 4 kids, littles. So I had, when I started Thriving, my twins were 3, my son was in elementary school, and my daughter was in junior high. When I was working, she had watched me go from being a mom of 2 to a mom of 4 overnight. And she saw me literally like running around like a chicken with my head cut off, like I would have to turn in paperwork and I would be like wheeling into the parking lot, like running in the door, like leaving them in the car. Cause that's like a lot of work to get 2 car seats at the same time. We lived in a small town, so like nobody was going to arrest me. But like if somebody from the big city came and saw me, they would probably call the police. But like literally, I'm running in, throwing the paperwork, running out the door. So she watched that. So I guarantee you, when she started Thriving and she felt what it was like to thrive, when she was helping all these other tired, exhausted mamas thrive, when stories were coming back from all of her people that she had helped, I guarantee you I was at the top of her list. Like when you say, who do you know that's tired, exhausted, can't sleep at night, has a lot of kids, has a big commute to work, works a lot of hours, looks like they just need this stuff. Like I guarantee I was at the top of her list, but I was not interested. And it's so funny to like scroll back through some of the messages. But my point that I wanted to make with you guys is I wanted to talk about once I started this journey and just kind of, I need to summarize that a little bit because I know a lot of you haven't heard my story, but basically, long story short, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. There were a lot of other people that I'm actually closer to friendship wise on Facebook promoting health and wellness products. Guys, health and wellness industry is huge. There are companies starting every day. There are companies that have been around for the last 30 years. Like everybody, is taking some kind of health and wellness and they're promoting something almost. So just know that's the name of the game. We just have the best, okay? Because nobody has the stories that we have. But when I hit that wall and said, enough's enough, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, I reached out to her because this whole Thrive 3 thing intrigued the heck out of me. First of all, the wearable nutrition thing. I mean, that is insane. It's been in healthcare for years, transdermal means. So the fact that they were doing this nutritionally, I was like, okay, I want to try this out. But I always kind of break it down into the three things that made me reach out to her was the simplicity. I needed simple in my life. I was getting 4 kids dressed, ready, out the door, getting myself ready, out the door for work every day. I needed simple in my life. Stories. She was always sharing stories of other thrivers, and they were happy people, like happy, thriving, smiling moms, having fun with their kids. Like there were just all these stories. And then thirdly, the successes. So she was shouting out people, and I didn't know what VIP 800 or VIP 1600 was. Back then, you could earn an iPad mini when you hit 4K. And then people were earning cars. And I'm like, okay, I know enough about this industry to know you can't have that kind of success unless something is working. Now, a little bit about, was I in the industry before? Yes. So I actually tried a supplement company. I took their products for 11 years before Thrive. So basically this is almost 19 years ago that I tried that health and wellness company. I couldn't hang. Like I earned like an initial bonus, but that company, I had to buy my inventory. People would order from me. So like I would buy their product and then they would have to pay me back. Well, what I found real quickly was I was on a teacher salary because I was a speech therapist in the schools. But I would meet them to give them or I would call them and be like, hey, your product came in. Oh, my husband said I can't have it now. Or I had people write me hot checks. Then I had people complain that they weren't losing weight, but yet they're eating a bacon cheeseburger and fries every day. So I quit that company. I had gone to like a few trainings of theirs. I had seen people do very well. I'd gone to even something like our success, Thrivepalooza, like with that company, what they had. I believed in the industry, but I just couldn't hang. I was like, forget this. I'll just take this product. I'm going to get my master's degree, make a bunch of money as a speech pathologist and whatever. Like that was kind of my thing. Then when the twins were born, I got invited to a Jean party, and I had not gone, and I liked designer denim. My girlfriends and I used to go to Dallas to market and buy designer denim like for half the price. And I had not been able to take that trip with my girlfriends for a long time because I had twin babies now. And so I got invited to a party, walked in the door, thought this is super cool, guilt-free mom's night out. I joined that company. It cost me to join, but I didn't have to buy inventory. I could rent it out, basically like pick it up, then get paid off of what I sold. But I did that for a couple of years. It added some income to our family. I did build a team there. And I remember the first night that I was sitting at home, I had my big horseshoe nursing pillow, and I was nursing both of the babies because when you got 2, like you best just nurse them both at the same time. I remember my daughter was 10 when they were born. She's like, Mom, it's a good thing you didn't have triplets. But I remember sitting on the couch, I was nursing my babies, and I'd logged into my back office and I'd made while I was with my family. And because I had taught other people how to do what I had done. And so that was kind of my first introduction. Hang on. Hey, Gunner, are you on that? Hang on. I got a blood sugar alert, so hang on. Hey, are you on that? Because my phone's going off and I want to see. It's saying your mode. Just look at it. Or check. Okay, sorry. Anyway, that was kind of my first, like, this is really cool because, and it was more of a party plan. It wasn't network marketing. It was a party plan business. And I'd never got paid unless I went to work. Does that make sense? Like I always had to be, I was a contract speech therapist. So I thought, okay, this is really cool. Well, I never like hit a home run with that. Like with that company, I probably made what a 12K here at Lavelle makes. So it helped our family immensely. I didn't get a car paid for or anything like that. But as far as like what I brought in monthly was probably about what a 12K with Lavelle makes. So it allowed me to go from working 40 hours a week as a speech pathologist. I cut back to probably about 22, 24 hours. It just gave me some flexibility. but I still had to go and do parties and be away from my family a lot. And it was a lot of hard work. I swear that's probably why I have herniated discs in my back, because imagine me carrying and lugging 120 pairs of jeans in a duffel bag, throwing that in my car. And I wasn't doing it right. Anyway, so when that company, I actually left that company because of they brought in someone new leadership wise, and from an integrity standpoint, I couldn't stand behind that anymore. When you have a business like this, you've got to lay your head down at night knowing you're bringing someone into a good opportunity. And I was put in a position where I didn't feel like I could do that anymore. So it was like the golden days are over. Oh, okay. But we had moved to West Texas. Again, I'm working as a speech pathologist. We had drained our savings account with the move. We're in a yucky place financially. So we were broke. I was lonely. I moved 4 and 5 hours away from all our friends and family. My insecurities were through the roof. Not a pair of jeans in my closet fit. It was affecting my marriage. I was in mom funk of all mom funks. I was miserable. I had headaches all the time. And that's when I reached out to Tony. So long story short, God did for me what it did for everybody else. Day 5, I'm like, holy crap. Like, I feel amazing. I get on the phone with Tony because she called me. I'd actually written on her wall and said, oh my God, I can't believe it took me this long to try this. Like, I need to get this for free. Back to work I go. She calls me, she's laughing. And because I sound totally different. Like, I've been so just pissy with her before. And some of those messages like are embarrassing. Like, I won't show people some of those messages because I'm embarrassed of the place I was in mentally, because I wasn't very nice. But she knew. I mean, you guys know what that's like when your friends are like so just crabby and they're just, or whatever, they're super skeptical, and then all of a sudden they're thriving and their tone of voice changes and the way they're texting you changes, and you're like, told you so, you know what I mean? You might not necessarily say told you so, but you're kind of giddy about it, like, yeah, you're a thriving girl. So she actually put her friend that introduced her to Thrive on the phone, brought him on the phone, and that just so happens to be Paul Gravett, who's the CEO of the company. And I didn't feel like I was talking to a stuffy CEO, and all of you met Paul. Like, he's not. I mean, he's just as real as all of us. But the thing that he said that stood out in my mind is he said, girl, you got a lot of tired, exhausted mama friends that need this. And I was like, oh my God, I do. Like, I mean, I had a daughter in junior high, one in elementary, twin babies. I'm a healthcare provider. I work with nurses and therapists all day, every day. They're like the world's worst at taking care of themselves because they're taking care of everybody else but themselves. And I'm like, yeah. And so they said, well, you can be a promoter for free. And you can actually earn this VIP 800, VIP $1,600 bonus. And they laid that out for me. And I'm writing notes and I'm like, how do you make any money? Like, this doesn't make sense. And they just kind of laughed at me and went on and didn't really answer the question. And today I know that they don't make money initially with that VIP 800, VIP 1,600 payout, paying out 660 on 800, but that's their investment in you, because they knew. And honestly, this is what fueled my fire. Me getting a 500 whatever dollar check that first time. And then by the time that check hit my bank, my husband was living Thrive. I was living Thrive. And I already had friends and family that were living their Thrive. They were starting their Thrive. And so that initial VIP 800, VIP 1,600 bonus is the company's confidence in their investment in you and saying, hey, you go get a bunch of your friends and family feeling like $1 million, and we're going to reward the heck out of you. And we're going to show you right now this money's going to hit your bank. And so I think it's so important. Sorry, my allergies have been crazy, and so my throat is funny. So I'm going to drink my Starfruit Activate. But I think it's so important that we paint the picture for people, guys, from the minute that we talk to them about the product, about how good they're going to feel, to the moment that we say, hey, you've got tired, exhausted friends that need this. Like, with 2 friends, you're getting this for free. With 2 friends, you're getting it for free. You're halfway to your very first bonus. And that's exactly what they did for me, is paint a picture immediately in my mind. So I became a promoter. I started, and it took off like crazy. I don't want to say it took off like crazy and I didn't do any work. I worked my ass off. I still do. But it was so fun. Like there was such a rush for me. And there still is. Like, I mean, I just got the phone with a new customer just a second ago. I'm like, how did you find me? She goes, well, your fancy like video. So my reel that I made with my kids just brought me in the newest customer. Like, that's so fun. And hearing her story and hearing her husband and where they are in life right now and knowing what this is going to do for them, it just has me all giddy and excited. I'm almost 8 years into this, guys, though. So I'm still super passionate about what I do because I believe in what I have my hands on. So going back to what I wanted to talk to you guys about is my Facebook post today. I'll pull it up real quick. But so I was going through those old messages of my conversations with Tony and kind of how she reached out to me and stuff. And we had multiple messages back and forth, and she would definitely update me anytime anything was going on with the company. She reached out to me before we ever had Dermafusion technology. And I didn't join her. Like, I don't even know. But so I'm going to read you guys this, and I want us to talk about it. But it says, everything is created twice. First in your mind, and secondly in reality. Okay, so let's just talk about what we've already talked about. Everything is created twice. First in the mind, and secondly in reality. Okay. We have to be creating things first, from keeping your storefront open every day to making sure that when you're talking to someone, you're painting that picture of how they're going to feel, because they need to paint that picture. They need to see themselves having fun with their kids, like Alicia. They need to see themselves. I mean, like this girl was like, I saw you with your kids and I thought you were a young mom. And then I went to your face or your Instagram and you've got a daughter in college and I'm trying to figure out what the heck you're doing. See, it's got to be created in our mind and then in reality. All right. But it says, here's a message between Tony and I from 2014. Notice the mention of the game ranch on our vision board. We didn't purchase that ranch until 2020. We purchased that last year, y'all, but we made the dream come true 6 years later. So my husband was in the oil and gas industry. I left my career as a speech pathologist within that first 6 months. He didn't leave his career until the next year. So when this message took place, he was still working in the oil and gas industry, but I already had a game ranch on our vision board because that was kind of a lifelong dream of his. He had guided on the King Ranch when he was in college. He loves to hunt and fish. And that was just kind of a goal, you know, to have land and own a place like that, right? That I communicated this to Tony back in 2014. I was only 8 months into my business at that time. He was still in the oil and gas industry at that time, but I was already putting that seed out there of where we were going to go in our family. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys. We didn't have to wait financially until 2020 to purchase that game ranch. It was just that the season of life wasn't ideal for our family until 2020, if that makes sense. Okay. And the perfect place hadn't come along. I said, well, some might view our journey as an overnight success. And I mean, if you guys have been to Thrivepalooza and you've seen me on stage or you've seen me shouted out as an 8-figure earner, that's how you see me probably, is an overnight success. You don't know the story I just told you, that 19 years ago, I tried a health and wellness company and I failed and I quit. You know, you don't know the things that happen along the way and the growth that's taken place along the way, right? It appears that it's an overnight success. But I said, I'm here to tell you the dreams we've accomplished sometimes years in the making. What's different about us is that we dream and we dream big, and then we act as if we've already achieved it, guys. That is what's huge for you. If you want to be 12K, you've got to have that in front of you. It's got to be a screensaver on your phone. You've got to figure out which car you want. You've got to go ahead and figure out the dealership you want to shop at. You need to go test drive the car. You need to get in the car. You need to be shopping. You need to be doing all the things. Act as if you already have it and have it in front of you all the time. And then you're naturally going to do the things that you've got to do that's going to make it happen. It's crazy how it works, but I promise you that's how it works. We have a vehicle that is taking our family far beyond our wildest dreams. And we know that our mindset, our growth, and our consistency will pay off. I never quit in this business. There were people that joined Lavelle that were 200K when I joined this company that quit. There were people that came in and put their family in a completely different life. And guess what? They've quit. Do you know how many of them are back to their 9 to 5? It amazes me. It blows my mind. I'm like, why in the world? But here's what I found out about people. If you're not super in tune to why you're doing things, the distractions will come between you and the dreams that you have for your family. I had someone, I had a friend not too long ago join another company. And some of my friends knew that we were close. She had never been a part of Lavelle. But it was kind of shocking to me that like we didn't even get much of a conversation. And I'd always said to her, if you ever do this, you know, we've got to talk about this. And they said, well, how do you handle that? How do you get over that? Like, how do you, and I'm like, girl, there's no way in heck I am allowing someone else's decision to come between me and what I have planned for my family here. Like, I'm so in tune to where I'm going and what this will do for my family and generations to come, like future generations, like my grandchildren and my great grandchildren someday, that I'm not going to let somebody else's decision that has nothing to do with me, honestly, come between me and that and where I'm going. So what I want to talk to you guys about tonight is, what do you want? Another funny thing in that conversation, guys, I didn't, when you're all finished this, it said, what are you dreaming about? What do you desire? You've got to create it first in your mind, and you've got to see yourself having exactly that. Then whatever you do, you cannot let the distractions or the craziness of this world come between you and the dreams you have for you and your family. You've got to know what you want. You cannot wander aimlessly. And I think that is the hardest part, is so many people, they don't know what they want, or they're scared to death to say what they want. So back in the day, before we didn't have income disclosure statements and we didn't have a compliance department, and we could talk about how much money people made. And I'll never forget, we had an event and Paul asked Tony what her weekly paycheck was. And it was $13,000. And I was like, oh my God, like, but I didn't think, well, I'm jealous of that, or, well, that'll never happen for me, or, well, that's for people like her, or she's got something special. That's just not, I'm like, did she just say $13,000 weekly check? I'm in, like, I will get that. I'm in. Because again, pictures of possibilities have been painted for us. And I saw myself having that. If she could, why couldn't I? So if I can, why can't you? And that's where you've got to take this, is what do you want? You've got to allow yourself. Do you know, in another conversation with her, she said, what's your income goal? I said, I want to make $10,000 a week. And I want $20,000 a week by whatever, I don't know, had another date. Early in my business, I was already saying, because early in my business, I'd heard, well, if she can do that, so can I. And there was never a time where I said, I don't have what it takes. Hell yes, I have what it takes. And guess what? So do you. You know why? You've got this company that is proven over and over and over and over and over again, they will set you up for success. They have poured into us and poured into us and poured into us. I've watched them do it for 8 years. Here's the deal. When they pour into you, you have to take advantage of what they're handing you. Okay. The gifts they give, when they throw out a promo, you can't say, oh, no, I don't have time to do that right now. No, you go run for it, and you have to take advantage of it. You've got the products. 3 steps, y'all. 3 steps. Yes, we have a lot of other products. I'm loving me. My Star Fruit Activate. This has not changed my life. 3 steps changed my life. All the rest is the icing on the cake and all the sprinkles. You have that too. The people that I've seen have success in this business are the people that are hungry for change. They are hungry for what they want for their family. They don't want to live the way they live anymore. They are sick and tired of being stuck. They don't want to be in debt. They want options. You want to get online and go book whatever you need. If it's a hotel, you go, you book it. You don't worry about what it costs. If your kids need to go to so-and-so, you do it. It doesn't matter what it costs. If your kid needs you to pick them up from school early, you're able to do it because you've created a work environment that you don't have to report to anyone. Now, here's what I'm gonna say. Not everyone is equipped to do this full time, okay? It's not for everyone. And we don't discount. We don't want everybody to quit your job, okay? I've seen people actually that had really good jobs that they absolutely loved leave because they hit the top rank of the company and they thought that was like what they were supposed to do. And then their businesses went backwards because they were miserable. If you are in a beautiful place in your career, stay there. Just let this be your extra. Let this be your residual, because this company is going to go somewhere with or without you for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So you might as well go with, especially if it's changed your life. I don't think you would be on here with us if it had, right? So there is a little about what's on my mind. It's been such a blessing. I will say a lot of times people are like, Mauria, you're so confident and you're pretty bold. And I know I've been pretty bold on here with you guys tonight, but you can't unlearn what you know. And if you guys had seen all that I've seen over the last almost 8 years, this is how bold you would be as well. So take that for what it's worth. Like, I'm not a hardcore crazy woman. I'm not going to blow smoke. I am going to tell you the truth. And I've seen so many lives transformed. This is truly a vehicle to take your family wherever you want it to go. You just got to figure out where you want it to go. What I want to plant in your mind are seeds of options. So when I say that, that means, you know, are you financially strapped? Then you need to use your weekly rewards to get out of debt. Okay. Are you in a place where you work so much that you're not ever making memories with your family? You need to use this as a vehicle to make some memories with your family. Yesterday, hang on, my throat is so yucky right now. I probably need like a tablespoon of honey or something to coat this. There's my sunglasses that I was looking for. They're under a piece of paper. So yesterday I shared about my career as a speech pathologist, and I worked primarily in the home health setting with geriatric patients. So patients that were recovering from a traumatic event, stroke, traumatic brain injury. And then I worked with a lot of Alzheimer's and dementia patients. And because I was in the home health setting, I got to know their caregivers, and typically that was their spouse, right? And what was so sad, but so eye-opening for me is they would always say, well, we were gonna do this, and we were gonna do that, and we were gonna, and we were gonna. And I was like, I don't want to be a gonna, because you never know. And y'all, sometimes I know I say geriatrics, but sometimes I would have a stroke patient that was 50 years old. Like, sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, nothing on this earth is guaranteed. I have a friend from high school that just lost her husband a month ago. Nothing on earth is guaranteed. So I made a decision early in my marriage with a young family. We weren't financially free by any stretch of the imagination. I honestly didn't have a new piece of furniture in my house. It was all used or hand-me-down or whatever. But we would take family vacations because I wanted to make memories. Like, I didn't want to be that I want to live now, because now is all I have. And I hope I inspire you guys to really consider that. Like, what can this vehicle do for you now? Yes, be good stewards of your money. Yes, be smart. Don't blow and go with this stuff, but utilize this to enhance your life. That's really what it's all about. The product improves your quality of life, and this business can enhance your life. Because financial stress creates stress in every other area of your life. But if this can be something that alleviates that financial stress, holy moly, the options are just incredible. So I'll give it to you guys just to ask a few questions. I haven't seen the chat.
First of all, that was great. And that was, I think, everything that if you're on here, you probably needed to hear it, or else you wouldn't have hopped on. So let's see. I did have someone message a question that she couldn't make it. She wanted to know what your favorite personal development book that you've ever read was.
Oh gosh. Oh, I don't know. Here, I'm going to show you guys something. Because I'm going to open this up. So I'm going to have to stand up here. So U squared, do the work, win in the dark, live in grace, walk in love. Hang on. I'm going to show you guys. I wonder if I can flip this around. Hang on. Can I? Yeah. All right. So my personal development journey did not start last month. Like, this has been just years in the making. And I do have a couple of chick flicks in there. 28 Summers is an amazing fictional read by Ellen Hildebrand. And it's like, you know, it's fun. It's not a personal development book. But I mean, look, like, it didn't happen overnight.
That's what Courtney's stash looks like.
Do what?
That's what Courtney Rogers' stash looks like.
I mean, you're constantly just studying. I mean, just look at these at the top. The Remarkable Ordinary, How Successful People Lead, Putting Circles Around Your Children, Leadership 2.0, My Own 2 Feet, Winning the War in Your Mind. You know, I mean, it's just, this was really good. This Own Your Everyday. I don't know that there's one in particular. That's so bad that I probably don't have one in particular. I'm trying to turn this around. But yeah, you know, one of the first ones that I ever read was How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins. You know, she is the top runner in Roden Fields. And I've never met her, but I have so much respect for her. I feel like she probably leads her team like I do, you know. Integrity is a big deal. And yeah. I've like never heard a bad thing about her, which, I mean, you can be as good as gold and somebody's gonna have a problem with you. But another one is The Slight Edge. That was really good. That was one of the very first ones that I ever read. This year, Winning the War in Your Mind is really, really, really good. And that's actually by Craig Rochelle. He's a pastor. He actually has like multi campuses. He's actually the one that they created the Bible app. So he's like, I mean, leading in ministry is huge. But he's got that entrepreneur mindset and that creator mindset and innovator mindset too. And he even has a leadership podcast. But the thing is that our minds, it's what controls everything. And so this year specifically, it's kind of funny that you got me going here because I'll share a little bit more. This is so informal, but Zooms are supposed to be, right? This year alone, I kind of took it, I'm going to show you my notebook. I took it upon myself. I was like, I'm going to level up in every area of my life, from being a mom to being a leader. And I'll be honest, like, how many of you guys have read Jason Camper's book? If you don't have, oh, you know what? If y'all haven't freaking read that book, like, that's number one. Like, go order it right now because it's on Amazon. Like, right now. Like, just go order it. But Tracy, does that mean that you've read it?
Oh yeah, I got it signed and I read it within the first 3 days of owning it. I thought I was gonna out and die.
So the first chapter, I cried through the entire first chapter because I related to so much of it. And then as it kept going and kept going and kept going, I'm like, oh my God, like some of those things I knew just from early conversations with him, but a lot of that I did not know. And I think everyone needs to read that, because your pride and just, wouldn't you agree, Tracy? It's called Thrivin, Thrivin. It's one of the #1 sellers on Amazon right now, and it's Jason Camper's story, our CEO and co-founder. I've always been so proud to attach my name to this company, but it's like, it just made it even more. Like, and then so I'll be honest, in those messages with Tony, as I was scrolling, I mean, can you imagine me going through Messenger back to 2012? But there were so many things that like have happened over the course of like, so-and-so didn't get this order in right, or, just like the stupid things that happen in your business that are not a big deal, but at the time you're totally panicking and you think that it is. And I'm like, they have had our back. Like, they have done so much for us because they want to be the best, and this is their baby. And it is so important to them. I mean, when you're in that good hands, it should make you want everything even more. Does that make sense? And it just make you fly with that much more confidence, I guess. But back to the whole level up thing. So like, this is it says growth journal, level up 2021. And I really started just studying how successful people think, because I know what I've created, right? But I wanted to dig deeper into this so I can help turn around and teach you guys. Tracy, you've got a monkey on your back. I mean, that's like the prime definition. Hang on, I'm taking a picture.
He never leaves me alone.
But I wanted to, I guess, learn more about it because I want to duplicate it more. Does that make sense? Like, I want to be able to turn around and teach. And I'm not really a teacher. I'm just a doer. Like, I'm a big picture person. And so one of the things, like I said, that I've been doing really has been based on mindset and stuff. And that's why, I don't know if you guys are in my team page. Y'all have so many leaders in between me and you probably aren't. But the idea of things being created first in our mind and then in reality, I mean, that's been around for years and years and years and years. I mean, you go back to Think and Grow Rich. If you've never read Think and Grow Rich, it's old as dirt that you need to read it. How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's old as dirt, but you need to read it. Let's see, because those principles don't change. Just because we're in 2021 doesn't mean that the principles, the winning principles that have taken people to high levels of success are any different today than they were before. If anything, we have more access today to the things that feed our minds. So it's so important what you're feeding your mind, and you don't have time, guys. You don't have time for negativity. I mean, really, everything you need to be doing has got to be in a growth place. And I want to grow. I want to learn. I just want to do more. The magic word is so good. That's Earl Nightingale. That's like super old as dirt. But it's like, go to YouTube when this is over and listen to the magic word. Just type in the magic word by Earl Nightingale and listen to it and take notes on it. It talks about your attitude, because our attitude towards life determines life's attitude towards us. Isn't that so true? I mean, we can find negative in everything, and then our life's just going to be negative, or we can always be looking for the good, and we're going to have more good come to us. Yeah, so that's just me kind of sharing a little bit of what I've done. Read Jason Camper's book, but yeah, Earl Nightingale, the magic word. It's not very long. I think you'll listen in like 10 minutes. And honestly, if you were to listen to that every single day for 30 days, everything will change. It's so crazy. Because what we think about, we bring about. I mean, it's scientific, it's biblical, like you can't really negate that. So yeah.
So the next question is, what helps you get out of a funk? But I feel like reading might be it. Might
You
be
know
the
what?
answer.
Share my story. Share my story gets me out of a funk because it takes me back to where I was. And knowing, like, I don't ever want to go back there. As far as if you're saying, like, if I'm in a funk in my business. But I'll be honest, when my son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, that was 2.5 years ago. And, you know, here I am, I've got a multi-million-dollar team. Well, heck, we had already done $1 billion by then, but, I have this business that I've invested, you know, and I found myself really in a grieving process, and it was rough, y'all. And, I wouldn't do lives. I wouldn't get on Zooms. I barely made it through Thrivepalooza. And honestly, on the way back, like, got horrible news right after Thrivepalooza. I was still with my team of my son's lab work that, like, it basically was showing that he was in liver failure, or was it his kidneys or liver? Maybe it was his kidneys. And I'm just a freaking basket case, like a total basket case. And then coming home from Thrivepalooza. So I didn't come home from Thrivepalooza on a high. I came home from Thrivepalooza absolutely devastated. And I was actually scheduled to do a recap with my team. And I called my girls, my 200K leaders, and I sent out an SOS. I'm like, I can't do it, guys. Like, I cannot do it. Like, I'd already put out the flyer. I'd already scheduled it. Like, we were doing this for my team. I was like, I can't do it. And I ended up putting on my headphones and listening to them and just going and running, like, while they did it. But that kept on for several weeks. Like, I could do a 3-way call and share my story. I could do messenger chats and share my story, but I was not going live, and I was not hopping on Zoom. And what do you know, a couple of months later, one of the guys on my team, you can't tell him no. Like, he's so fired up about Thrive. And he had asked me to do a live, and I looked at my husband. I was like, I think I got to do it. He's like, it's time. Like, you'll be fine. You've got to do it. And getting out there and doing that live that night, it got me back to where I needed to be. It's like that probably made more of a difference in my life, in my business, than anybody that heard my story that night. Because you got to remember where you came from and why you keep doing what you're doing. And life's gonna smack you upside the face. Like, you're gonna have things that happen. There's gonna be distractions. You're gonna have things that happen far beyond your control when it comes to your kids, your marriage, your job, your community, whatever. I mean, there's gonna be stuff that happens, and it's gonna be hard to, like, get up and go again. But what keeps me going is my story. It's where I've been before, because here's a reality. Yes, this is residual income, but if you don't keep the doors to your business open, your business is going to die. And I'm not going back to where I was before. I'm not going back there physically, and I'm not going back there financially. I'm not going back there emotionally. So I got to keep the doors to my business open, which involves me sharing my story. And getting out of that funk is knowing where I'm going. It's a reminder of where I've been before, but it's also knowing where I'm going. There's got to be a prize at the end of it. Like, we're all working for some reason, right? It's all different. There's got to be a prize, and your prize changes from time to time. Initially, mine was VIP 800, VIP 1600. That'll pay cash for Christmas. Then it was, holy crap, I can have no car payment. Okay, wait, I can pay off debt. I can pay off my student loans. Okay, I can take my kids to Disney. Okay, wait, I can leave my career. Okay, your wants and your desires are going to change over the course of your business and the seasons of the life that you're in. But you have to have something that you're looking forward to. That's what I'm saying. If you don't know what you're going for, like, you got to do it. I mean, and if you need to borrow somebody else's dream for a minute and go, okay, I'm going for that. Like, why not? Why not throw it out there? Why not set a goal that blows your mind? And you're like, I have no idea how long that's going to take or what it's going to be, but it sounds good to me, and I'd love to have that, and then start acting like you deserve it.
I love that. What qualities do you look for in potential new promoters?
Are you hungry? I mean, really, that's the biggest. Like, that's what matters. If they're hungry, we're going places. If they want something, we're going places.
Did you, did,
300 friends on Facebook or 1,000 or 20,000. Like I don't need somebody to join my business that has 20,000 followers on Instagram. I need a tired, exhausted mama that takes this product that feels like $1 million and won't shut up about it. And I don't care if she only has 200 friends. That girl can go 200K faster than the girl at 20,000 if she's hungry.
amen. Did you make the 20,000 a week goal?
Oh yeah.
And Tracy says she needs to up her goal.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to, like, you don't have to tell me exactly what you make, but I need to up my goal because my goal was originally 1,000 and I did that, and now it's 2,000 and I did that. So like, I need more. I need to like up my goal now.
I'm gonna go to 10. And when are you gonna get 10?
Get 10 before like Christmas time. That's gonna happen.
That would be perfect.
Okay, so how do you bring up Thrive? Do you wait for it to naturally come up, wait for them to ask, or
So, you know, it's so obviously when I first started, like I had to get out there and send a zillion messages. So I sent a zillion messages. I was in people's like text messaging, in people's inbox. So Amber Manquist is one of my first personally enrolled Lavelle millionaires. And my message to her was like, what did it say? She showed me it the other day. Hey, what are you doing? And I've got something I want to run by you. And I think within 10 minutes, you're going to know if you're interested or not. Like it was a nice random message. And we got on the phone and we talked that night, and she did create a free account that she was kind of like, good for you. And she didn't join me for another 3 months, but she was seeing stories or being shared on the fan page. And do you know, it was actually another one of our mutual friends that shared a story from the fan page that she related to. But guess what? She joined me, not that friend. So I get her check match. So yeah, I mean, I do things pretty naturally. It just depends. Obviously in the beginning, you got to be reaching out to people to let them know what you've found. Well, now I'm 8 years into this. So if people are friends with me, they know what I found because I talk about Thrive all the time. Thrive is in my stories, either product or promoter or something, or both, daily. So, and then I always, you go scroll my Facebook, it's Thrive. There's Thrive there. I mean, I share a lot about my life with Thrive sprinkled on top of it, but I share my thriving life. So case in point, my most recent customers, well, the girl that found me today, she found me through another way on Instagram, but because I promote Thrive on my Instagram, see, my storefront's open. She literally found me from the Fancy Like reel on Instagram. It's a trending reel. I mean, it's everywhere, but she saw that with my twins. She clicked, my Instagram has things about me. She's like, oh, you're a young mom. And then she's like, what? You're a mom of a college kid. How do you know what I mean? She's trying to figure out how I look like I look and have the energy that I have, but I have a kid in college as well. Then she starts clicking, and I literally have links to describe me on my Instagram. So what did she do? She created a free account. She asked for a sample request. I texted her today, hey, I got your sample request. I said, what did I say? I don't know. Well, I'm on my phone. I can't look. Basically, I was like, well, I've got some other things I want to run by you. When can you talk? And she said, I can later on this afternoon. She's the one that called me this afternoon. And she's actually starting out as a customer, but that promoter thing, I'm pretty sure is going to happen pretty quickly. She doesn't want her 14-day period to start right away, which I'm fine with that. But my storefront's open. See, there's consistency there. So yes, people come to me, but it's because I put Thrive out there. But then yes, I am going to people about Thrive. Okay, so another thing. She's on day 3 today, my most recent customers. I met her at a concert at Panama City Beach the first week in June. And she's so cute. Anyway, we instantly hit it off. We kind of stood by each other all night, had so much fun, and connected on social media. Well, I had posted the next morning my Thrive jumper cables, and she swipe, she messaged me back on my story and said, well, I need some of that. And I was like, oh my gosh, girl, it's a game changer. Have you heard about Thrive? She's like, no, what is it? So see, you've got to be putting things out there or people are not going to ask you about it. And then, yes, I mean, if anyone ever says anything about Thrive to you, then that is the open window that you better be updating them. So with her, when she ordered was when Thrive launched that July 4th promo. So I reached out to her and said, hey, I don't know if you're ready to do this yet, but the company is doing da-da-da-da-da. I'm doing da-da-da-da. This is a great time for you to get started. So see, I don't just wait on people to come to me. I follow their lead, but I'm going to update them with certain things because that was a great deal. That was basically 2 months for the price of one because of what the company was giving them back. So, yeah, I don't just sit around and wait on people coming to me.
That is good to know. Let me see what else we got. I think that was it. I think that's all the questions. I don't see any more. Did anybody else have any last minute questions before we let Mauria go? We've kept her for the whole hour.
I just want to say we all love you so much, and we've all been talking about how pretty you are the entire Zoom.
Oh, you're so sweet.
We've also been listening.
I need to learn how to accept compliments. Okay, Thrive does a body good. It works from the inside out. Thrive skin's pretty good, but I love her ring lights.
Yeah. I actually did say that at one point. I was like, I need to go get my ring light because I can't keep looking at her. She's literally glowing and I'm sitting in a dark room. It's like cloudy as I don't know what outside. I have 2 ring lights and I'm not using either one of them. It's just horrible. It doesn't make sense. Let's see. Hold on.
Ellen said, clearly it has not stopped working. It hasn't. I love the fact that I can count on my Thrive to do what it does every day.
I don't think there's any more questions. I love this. Like I said, I think this was exactly what we needed. I thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to us tonight. I think a lot of people, I saw JoJo writing like crazy the whole time. She's taking tons of notes. I'm going to have to get all those books that you named. I was trying to type them as you were saying them.
Okay.
I'm hoping she was able to write some of them down.
Okay.
But thank you guys so much.
Go read Thrive In. Winning the War in Your Mind would be really good for y'all. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start y'all with those 2 for now. But the main thing is, guys, is don't feel like you've got to go study to go build, or you got to go read to go. I mean, like when I told you guys I wanted this year to like really dive deep and study, that was more from a leadership perspective to do better for my team. Like I want to grow so I can help you guys grow, but don't overthink this business. You have a story or you wouldn't be on here tonight. And don't discount your story. I don't have a huge weight loss story. Like my story, people can't see, but I'm passionate about what I do. My husband has a good transformation picture, but that's not what built my business. So don't overthink it to the point that you slow yourself down. I think ignorance on fire is a blessing in this business because you've got a product that works and you've got a company that's going to reward the heck out of you. So run with that and have so much fun. Stay plugged in. Don't check out. Don't check out. Don't do it. Don't let yourself. This community. I mean, you guys obviously have an incredible community. I know you guys have probably already built some amazing friendships. Like, I don't know where I would be without my Thrive family. And, when life gets rough, don't alienate your Thrive family. Lean in to your Thrive family, because a lot of times this is where hope comes from. This is where the good stories happen and the celebrations happen and things like that. And you need that when life gets rough. Like this is where we can lift you up, and then turn around and lift somebody else up when they're having a rough time, because it's going to happen. So with that, I need to go. Thank y'all so much for having me on.
Thank you. And I hope you have a good night, and I hope your allergies get better. I know we're all probably, everybody in the South is dealing with it. Well, you just did the hay thing too, right? Didn't you just drive the truck and deal with some hay?
Yeah. Well, I think the weather, like everywhere, has been so weird that like everything is like a months behind seasonally where we usually are. And
yeah,
it's just weird. But all right, guys, well, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.